Come on in. We have Jennifer Lee. Gugu Mbatha-Raw. Chris Pine. Oh, the lovely Storm Reid. Yes. Our heroine, Ava DuVernay. Queen Oprah Winfrey.
Hello.
I'll never get over calling her that.
Fun, actually.
Reese Witherspoon.
Did you grow? I did. How tall are you?
New mommy Mindy Kaling. Zach Galifianakis, who's already asked me not to ask him questions, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Storm's gonna be 6 feet tall.
Derrick McCabe, little superstar. Rowan Blanchard. And cutie pie, Levi Miller. Welcome to the house.
Levi's hair is long. I know.
Woo, big, beautiful cast. Everyone's taking their pictures. Pose, have a good moment.
I'm gonna take a picture of you guys too.
Yeah, we're going to take a
I wish I had my phone.
That's great.
I'm going to give you 10 more seconds.
9.
8, 7, 6, 5,
Everybody
4,
wave!
3, 2, 1.
Got him.
and action. All right, everyone take your seats. Here we go. What a beautiful cast, led by Ava DuVernay. I want to talk to Jennifer Lee real quick, who is a female writer-director who adapted Wrinkle in Time for this film. One female writer-director with another female writer-director. How did that go down? What was the first meeting like?
Oh no, no, it was fantastic. Actually, I had daydreamed of Ava directing this and never imagined. She walked in and I said, really, because her incredible evocative storytelling, emotional storytelling, and what this film needed. Because this is a journey across the universe. At the heart of it is a family story, an empowering young girl. And Ava walked in, and she was so gracious and kind to me, and embraced me in the process with her. And so I'm very grateful. So right away, I was smitten. Said, I'll follow you anywhere.
Jennifer Lee made Frozen, just in case
Yes.
anyone isn't clear. So she's a legend in our midst.
I was going to add that you know your way around a children's story that really resonates with the children. And Ava, who has done some incredible projects, is like, I'm going to get in touch with my inner child on this project.
Yes.
And you did.
Yes, this is a film for young people and people who are young at heart. And for me, I had to ask myself, do I still have a heart, first of all? And is there an inner child still in me? Could I tap into the 11-year-old, the 12-year-old, the 13-year-old in me and find that light that I used to have, that dreamer? And so I got to do that for 2 years. You know, I got to really get in touch with all that I thought I would be when I was young and really tap into that and try to create some magic with this great group of people.
Jennifer, for those out there who are Wrinkle in Time loyalists from the 1960s, what is the greatest shift that you made to adapt it to 2018?
Well, I think we talked a lot about what makes Wrinkle so amazing and it's resonated for decades and decades is because there is a timeless quality to the themes she's dealing with. But we did look a lot at what are those themes today? What do they mean today? And how do you stay true to that but reinterpret them in a way that we all say, this is our world, this is what we understand. So we just had a lot of conversations about what we were inspired by and then what that meant to us growing up and to children now and to the world now.
Love that. Gugu.
Hi.
Hi. You play an inspiring role model for Storm's character, Meg, being a woman who is a scientist.
Yeah.
Explain to me how you got into that character.
Well, it was really fascinating because, I'd never played a mother before, and I'd also never played a scientist before. And it was kind of great because we got to meet this wonderful astrophysicist who was kind of the consultant on the movie, Stephen Alexander, and he wrote this incredible book, The Jazz of Physics, and Ava introduced us to him. We got to talk to him a little bit about, inside his mind and what it might mean and what it might take to sort of pursue those theories. We visited JPL, which was really fun to be able to kind of, again, sort of get into the mind of an astrophysicist. And yeah, for me, I was really drawn to the fact that even though Dr. Kate and Alex Murray are obviously a love match, they're also intellectual equals, and it's like a meeting of minds, and that's sort of the spark, and discovering Tessering and that pioneering spirit that they have is really what sort of keeps her hope alive when he's been gone for so long.
Yeah, love is a huge through line in this movie. And I love that you are a modern family, an interracial couple, and a beautiful 2018 family. Chris, what was it like for you playing a scientist in this very complex story about wanting to move the narrative forward as a culture, but the culture's not ready for it?
Well, I had so much fun with this guy, Dr. Alexander. He's the coolest, most interesting. This may answer your question or not, but
Go for it. I'm sure it will.
he is so cool. In this book, Jazz of Physics, I love jazz and I love John Coltrane. He opens the book talking about the music of the universe and how music and John Coltrane and physics and stars all are one of the same thing. And I fell in love with this guy. We could have talked to him for hours. Poor guy was sending me emails all the time asking the dumbest things of all time. What's my answer here? You know what I really loved about the whole thing is something he said that I thought was really interesting, and this may be apropos to the movie or not, but he was talking about how in what he's doing now, it's like we are all part of the same thing. And in his studies, in his academic studies, he not only studies physics, but he studies music, and then he studies painting, and then he studies, it's this incredible hive of a bursting mind. So I think that's what I really enjoyed about this character, is that his brain is just, it's hungry and searching and explorative. And obviously that ambition to do great things propels him forward to do some wonderful things scientifically, but unfortunately that kind of shadow side of ambition is that it disconnects him from what is most important in his life and what requires his daughter to reintroduce him to, which is the spirit and the beauty and regenerative quality of being next to human beings, touching and feeling and holding and kissing, all those things that make us human.
There's science, which is out there, and it's very complex, and then there's just love.
Yeah.
Which is
exactly,
the basis
right.
of what keeps us human and what keeps us moving forward. Storm, I've interviewed you 3 times already. And I'm like, no, we need Storm. We need Storm. She's about to be the biggest star in the world. We need to talk to her, and how she's handling this run up to the release of this movie. And you have been so elegant, and you've learned from all of these women and men that you got to work with. Now you are, a couple weeks away? What are you feeling right now? Because I talked to you at Black Panther, I talked to you at the Image Awards.
I'm really excited. I haven't been nervous this entire time, which is surprising for me because I'm usually always nervous. So I haven't been nervous. I think I'll be a little bit nervous tomorrow because I feel like this is our baby, and this is our thing that we created, and we love it so much, and it's so great, but we're giving it to people for them to criticize it, for them to either like it or love it or not like it at all. So that's a little bit nerve-wracking, but I feel like we did a good job, and I'm really proud of us. So I'm really happy, and it's a blessing.
I know your friends are on Snapchat or whatever the kiddies do with you, what's going on? Are you hanging out at Oprah's house?
A little bit here and there, not too much though.
You're hold tight, you have to get a line at the premiere, darling. It's very much like that.
Yeah.
Ava, you did it again, my dear. You did it again. Do you feel that?
No, I feel like I tried and gave everything I had to a film again. And so if that's the it, then yes. There's love in every frame of this movie, and there's love in every frame and everything that I do. I don't have children. I won't have children by choice. These films are my children. They're what I leave behind. They have my name on them, have my blood in them. And so I feel like I did that. And from there, you offer it up to the world, and you hope that they can see our intention. But this was an extraordinary experience for me. It's emotional to sit here with all of them because, we really held hands on this and became a family, trying to just give a little bit of sweetness to the world in these dark times. It's a tough time right now. And so this film really saved me in a lot of ways. from kind of going down dark holes and kept me in a really light-filled place. So I'm grateful for the past 2 years working on A Wrinkle in Time.
It's funny, a lot of directors have been saying that their art is saving them.
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro just said that about Shape of Water. He needed that to keep him out of the dark hole, because we are all experiencing this crazy reality right now, and that for kids, it's even more important for them to see the light.
Yeah.
And I really see how you wanted to make that very clear for 5 to 14 to 18-year-olds, and that shined through.
Yeah, they're living in a chaotic time. We're living in a chaotic time as adults. So imagine if you've only been on the earth for 10 years and 11 years and 12 years, the tension that you feel. And so to be able to just give a little breather and to say who you are is enough. And this is how you're going to make it through, by finding something in yourself that guides you. We all have that little voice inside of us, and a lot of times we don't listen to it. A friend of mine had a tremendous episode of peer pressure of gigantic proportions that I'd never experienced or seen just a couple of weeks ago, when the whole country, well, a lot of the country was saying, "You should run for president." And she said,
What friend was that, Ava?
she said, y'all, the voice inside of me says, I am not your president. I can do good in the world in a different way. But a tremendous amount. Like, I probably would have even said, if everybody thinks I should, I'm gonna give it a try. That's what we need more people to tap into, your own voice.
So you're saying your friend does not succumb to peer pressure.
She's the strongest I've ever met.
Strong, black, female magic is what we're talking about. Let's move to Miss Oprah. Because when else am I going to be able to say that? Hello.
Hi.
I mean, the role was absolutely perfectly tailored to you, Mrs. Witch. It's like art. What is it called? Art imitating life.
Oh.
Did you feel that when you were playing the character?
Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, I actually did. No, you all have heard me say this before, and it's so true. Ava and I are like talking on the phone, and when she went to New Zealand and posted pictures of scouting for New Zealand, I had been in New Zealand the year before, in Auckland, and did not get to the South Island. And I had wanted to do that. And so wanted to do that. Everybody says, you didn't get to the South Island, you haven't really seen New Zealand. So when I heard that she was going to be filming in New Zealand, I said to you, I'm going. I'm just gonna go. And she goes, what do you mean go? I'm just gonna go hang out with you for however long it takes. I'm gonna block it on my schedule. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna watch you shoot and say, action. I'm gonna do that. And, because I can do that.
Yeah, you could do it like, you got it like that.
And,
Private jet,
she said, well, if you're serious about that, if you're really serious about that, you'd actually come to New Zealand. I go, for sure, I'm gonna be there. And she said, well, why not take a look at the script? I mean, I've been wanting to ask you to do this, but I didn't want to, pressure you because of our friendship. And I go, okay, I'll do it. I didn't even know what it was. I'll do it.
Are you serious? Ava's got it like that. I love
Ava's
it.
got it like that. I'll do it. And then I thought, okay, let me read the book, see what this is.
You've never read The Wrinkle in Time?
I'd never read the book, and I'm a reader, but
I know. I'm shocked.
It never got to my neighborhood. I don't know. So,
And it was banned apparently, so maybe that's why.
So, it wasn't until actually the very first day I was called, we were talking about this yesterday, I was called for the fitting for the costumes with Paco Delgado that I realized, whoa.
Ooh, it's real.
This is some kind of movie.
I get to be in full
And
drag.
then the first day on the wires, I went, this is really some kind of movie. What kind of movie is this that she had, just came up out of the imagination? So it has been the word delight, when you look up the word delight, there is my picture for being in this film. The whole process has just been one big delight.
I love that. And Reese, your character in the movie says, well, Mrs. Witch, she knows everything. And so she
does know.
She does. It was perfect. Hi, Reese.
Hi, how are you?
You are sassy in this movie. Tell me about playing your character.
Well, just being in the movie, I had a version of Oprah's story too, where my agent called me and said, Ava DuVernay wants you to be in a movie. I was, yes. great, where do I show up? How do I be? They were like, oh, no, she has to take a meeting. I was like, oh, okay, I have to take a meeting. And, oh, yeah, sorry. And so I sat across from her. I was like, really, you want me? And it was really, it's very flattering to be chosen to be part of Ava's movies because she doesn't just make a movie, she makes an experience for everyone. She cares about what happens in front of the camera, and she cares about what happens behind the camera. And everybody feels like they are important, special, honored, valued for their contributions. And I feel like this was a masterclass in how to be, a very thoughtful filmmaker and a real visionary in so many ways. So it was a privilege and an honor, and I got to be this amazing celestial person who hangs out with Oprah and Mindy all day.
Score.
I know. I mean, it really was truly delight, extraordinary.
There's
joy.
our picture. Delight.
Take it, quick.
It's nice that
got
I
it.
get to stand next to these extraordinary women who I've admired for so long, and we get to talk about what would we impart to a young woman today, right now, and discuss that with Ava and discuss that with Storm, and it was extraordinary. Really a beautiful experience.
It's amazing how everything seems to be falling right in time. Your series on HBO fell at the perfect time. This movie is at the perfect time, and during Women's Month is when it's going to be released. So, like, this female empowerment is hitting a shift right now. It's hitting a pinnacle that is so beautiful to see, and I don't think it's going anywhere. Like, it's just going to stay at the peak. And how perfect that you're in this movie as well. Mindy, how are you feeling right now being one of the misses?
It's absolutely incredible. It feels, I can't believe that I was selected to do this. It's such an honor, and to be acting with all these incredible actors. I mean, I'm a sitcom actress, and Ava saw something in me, and we actually met at a party. It was for Malala, and Ava, Malala, and I were the only 3 women of color at this big party. Wow. And after I finished talking to Malala, Malala was seated to my left, and Ava was seated over there. And once I finished talking to Malala, I was like, I really want to talk to Ava. and after I finished talking to her, we had a great conversation. And I thought, you know what? Our genres are so different, we'll never cross paths. And then this happened. So I feel so blessed to be part of it. And to wake up every morning and spend 4 hours in the makeup trailer with these 2 is great. Zach I knew because I took his online acting course that Zach had. Zach is a very
Anybody can sign up. There's
I signed up for it. And I signed up for it and I said, Zach, do you think I can nail this role? It's more drama than I'm used to, and you were so encouraging.
Yeah, just I had a few of these back to Mindy, and she was set.
Yeah.
She was all set.
I learned acting through emails from Zach. So that was really fun.
I love that. Happy medium. Of course, it's Zach Galifianakis, Ava. Duh.
With the
How did that
man
come
bun.
about?
With the man bun. He demanded to wear a man bun.
He's such a method actor. Zach,
Yes.
tell me about how you got on board with A Wrinkle in Time.
Ava wanted to have lunch or dinner, and I said, "Who's paying?"
Who paid?
I think Ava paid.
I did.
Ava paid.
Did you have sushi? I want to know more details.
I probably, I don't know what, I probably had something. I only eat healthy in front of people, but I probably left the meeting and then went to a drive-thru and got a deep fried pizza or something. But I don't remember what we ate, but I'm sure it was healthy. And I had seen the documentary that Ava had done, and that alone was enough. You know, you can kind of see people in their work, and you see it in their work. And I was kind of I think if you played the game, which one does it belong here? I feel like that sometimes in when I get hired. But Ava and all the people here were very gracious, and I think when you're a stand-up comic, you kind of have sometimes not a chip on your shoulder, but you don't feel like that's where I come from, and to be involved in such a big movie like this is it makes me I feel real proud.
I felt that, man.
Yeah.
What I thought of when I saw you, I was like, huh? Oh, yeah. And that you were going to move and it's going to open you up to other roles. And
I'm done with Hollywood.
no, we're not letting you go.
This is my swan song.
We're not letting you go. Yeah, you are going to do more profound roles. I really feel that.
But I don't mean to be like, and Ava knows this. I think, I can't really talk about it without getting emotional. Like, when I first met Ava, there was something about her that made me, I don't know what it was, emotional. And then she showed us the movie. And again, I find myself, that's why I was trying to tell you, don't ask me anything. I just do. I feel like real proud. Real proud.
You talked about what was so poignant to me when you first saw the film was talking about boys seeing the film. And because we talk a lot about girls seeing the film, but he was the first person who said, this is something for boys too. Boys need to be able to see themselves be vulnerable and themselves be able to follow a girl and just not always have to be macho. And yeah.
I think it's good because it's nice for young boys, young men even, to see that it is okay to have a sensitive side of you. I think when young boys in this climate, they are seen as sensitive and they're made fun of, but that doesn't mean they're not, that means they're stronger to me. And I wish we would just kind of change that. I come from a very masculine upbringing, and a lot of people do it. I'm very, I love the way I was raised, but looking back, we need balance. It's time for balance.
I think we're going to get it.
I think that's what the happy medium is for.
Yes.
And that's why you were so perfectly cast, right? You're so hyper masculine. And
I think Josh Gad would have been better, but.
Not today, buddy, not today. Let's go to you, Derrick McCabe. First of all, welcome to your first film. What? You smashed your role, sir. And for Ava to search all over the world for your character, and you were the one that won, how did you even process that before you started filming?
Well, the first thing that she told me when we started rehearsals, she said, I had 7 casting directors all over the world, and the person that we picked was just around the corner. And I said, well, tell those casting directors that they did a good job. But
I see why he won the part. He's stinking cute, okay?
they did a good job.
Are you a Burbank kid? Where are you from?
I'm from Burbank.
Oh, I totally guessed. Wow. You really were around the corner.
That's by the IKEA in Burbank. It's so great.
You were incredible working with Storm. What was that like on your first film with cameras pointing at you from every angle?
Ava put us to a test during rehearsals. We were in a hallway, and I was with Levi and Storm, and she made us walk down and say our lines and pretend no one was watching. And I was like, that was easy. And she's like, really?
You're like, I can do this Hollywood stuff.
Hollywood. Psh.
I see a very bright future for you, sir. Do you already have scripts at your house waiting for you and next gig? No, this is all about Wrinkle in Time right now. Yes, wait until the world sees you. Trust.
World, you should see it.
Yes. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, on to Rowan Blanchard. Hi.
Hi.
You were a mean girl.
Mean girl.
I was a bully. Yeah. I sort of, when I found out about the project, I kind of put it into the universe that I just wanted to be a part of it in any capacity. And I ended up playing my first mean girl role, which was really exciting. But I guess it was also sort of interesting because I think as teen girls, we sort of get very basic and one-dimensional representations of ourselves on screen. And so it was interesting that this story that was about, a bully and this girl, Storm, or Meg, it became a story about female friendship, I think. And that comes across during the whole film. And sort of what's hiding behind a bully or behind pain.
Yeah. It always is a little pain behind when bullies are trying to affect, their hate on other people. It's because they're feeling it.
It's because they're hurting inside. Yeah, I don't know. I think it ended up being this really beautiful story about female friendship, and I was so inspired by just watching Storm, and I got to be there on the first day of shooting, and just getting to see this whole sort of journey happen from the first day of filming until now is so surreal.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
And you're friends now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel so far away from her right now.
That's awesome. Hi, Levi.
Hi.
So I spoke to you outside a little bit, and you shocked me because you're not American.
No, I'm not.
It's amazing how outsiders can do American accents so easily, and we can't do nothing, right? We can do like country, that's like it. Well, congratulations. Tell me about the casting of A Wrinkle in Time for you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was kind of like, because in Australia, A Wrinkle in Time, like, it's obviously a thing. It's such an incredible book, but I had never read it before, because it's not really in the school curriculum back home. But here, it's like, everyone has read it from their childhood, you know what I mean? So
Except for Oprah.
Except for Oprah. But, yeah, I'm kind of into sort of physics and science, especially now. So it's sort of, I don't know, it's interesting to read not only the emotional part of the book and the emotional part of the story that we were telling, but the scientific part of it was quite intriguing for me. So I don't know, that was a big draw for it. And getting to meet Ava as well. I saw Selma, which was like an incredible film, probably one of like my favorite films ever. So it was sort of, yeah, it was an experience for me, especially at the beginning, yeah.
Ava and I were talking about earlier that it's a female lead who says, trust me, and you have to follow her, or you choose to follow her. It's very different than any movies that we've seen, especially as a young person. What was it like for you? Did that open your mind up to the possibilities that women can absolutely lead and rule?
Yeah, I have two older sisters, so it's kind of
you've been there, done that.
Yeah, so I sort of grown up in like knowing, you know what I mean? I know just like sort of, my childhood is always looking up to women, so sort of like as I've grown up. But yeah, Ava and I were talking about it at the start too, as Zach was saying, sort of like the, you know, toxic masculinity, especially like nowadays, it's sort of rampant in society. So I think, yeah, it's a very special story and something that everyone needs to know. And so, yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Thank you so much. I'm going to open the floor up to questions right here. Hi.
I have a question for both Ava and Oprah, because you guys have worked on several. Hi, Lauren Jones, right here to the right.
Okay, there. Okay.
Hello, with the LA Sentinel. I wanted to just ask, what's different about this project as opposed to some of the other ones that you've collaborated about? Not just the script, obviously, and the cast, but just in terms of the process with working and kind of how you arrived to this point.
Well, first of all, you have Disney money. Let's just say. What's different is, Selma, we're in the end, like, we're going to have enough money. How much do I have? Let me try to help you out here. And let's just
Close from home.
You got the Disney machine, and that's why, one of the reasons why this is so exciting, that Ava DuVernay is at the helm of that. And I've said this before, one of them, it makes me well inside, fills my heart every time I think about Ava and her dreads and her sneakers and these big cranes and all of these men running around taking direction from her. And to see her be the master of that, to orchestrate all of that was powerful and inspiring. And it touches, I think, the part of us that recognizes, oh yeah, we can do that. We've always been able to do that. And I was just so proud to be associated with her and her ability to make this film possible. So that's what was different. I was with her on a film where literally we had one day to shoot everybody coming across the bridge in Selma. You gotta get it before it rains, and if it rains, you're not gonna get it, and you don't have enough money to try it again. So, big difference.
Look at Ava's face.
Big difference.
Different.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
No, I think that's the answer.
Sufficient. Next question. Over here.
Hi, my name is Maverick. I'm from SoCal Thrills. This question's actually for Rowan. So you played Riley Matthews, obviously, in Girl Meets World, and in one of the episodes, you actually were subject to bullying.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're on the flip side of that. So can you kind of compare the two roles and how they kind of fit in with the whole bullying kind of theme?
Sure. Well, I think whenever just from watching movies growing up, I always looked at bullies as very one-dimensional characters, especially girl bullies. It's very stereotypical that girls catfight or that girls fight over stupid things and that girls hate each other. And so I was sort of interested in approaching Veronica and Meg's relationship in a way where I was able to sort of recognize kind of the complexities of what it means to be the bully. And also, it's so much more intricate than that. It's so much more deep and layered than just a bully and a victim. There's reasons why, and I think especially between women, especially between young women, there's so much competition that's bred outside of their relationships interpersonally. So I was just sort of interested in exploring that and the reasons why she was bullying, and yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Next question.
Hi,
over here.
Mario from Mexico. One of the part of the hearts of the movie is the relationship between the daughter and the father. So I don't know if you, Chris, or the director or the writer can talk a little bit about it, because it's so powerful. This kind of relationship is unique. No?
She's a daddy's girl. Do you guys want to talk about the relationship between?
Yeah, I really, of course, my dad hasn't been missing for 4 years, so I didn't really know how to really translate that at first, but I really had to just tell myself that I had to step in Meg's shoes with all the situations she's going through, because thankfully I'm not getting bullied, and my dad isn't missing, and I'm not going through the things that Meg is going through. So when I did step in her shoes, and then knowing that, relating back to my life and my relationship with my dad, and me and my dad are very close, and kind of thinking about him being missing for 4 years really helped me bridge the gap of like how I would feel and how I would go through that. So that really helped, and then working with him and seeing how focused and how intense and how I felt the connection, and I felt like the pain and the love through that when I was working with Mr. Chris was really helpful as well. So it really helped working with you, and then kind of just becoming Meg and putting myself in that situation.
You know we're going to call you Mr. Chris from now on.
From now on.
I love it. My God, it's the cutest thing in the world.
But I am a full-blown daddy's girl, and daughters, we get our worth from our fathers initially. This is the first man we fall in love with. So can you speak on that?
Yeah, working with young adults is a wonderful opportunity for an actor, because their BS meter is so sharp. I remember working with a kid, and the moment I said something he didn't believe, he just walked off camera.
Nope, don't believe you.
Didn't give a shit. So I think that was a wonderful opportunity for me to, as actors, you build a bunch of kind of tricks that are very, if you get lazy, you can start throwing them out. If you work with a kid, they just like a metronome. They just keep you right there. You got to be right there. So that was lovely working with Storm, because she's such an authentic human and such an authentic actress. And I think, too, one of the great themes about this film that I love is this idea of reparenting, is that I think as kids we're taught that there's some sort of hierarchical structure where adults are, by virtue of their age, smarter than we as children are, where we forget that a lot of dumb kids grow up to be dumb adults.
Indeed.
And there is also beautiful kind of kernel, I mean, just look at what's happening in the world.
Yes, we got it.
So true.
But there is a kernel of beautiful, pure, like, there's this big verb now, they want to harden schools, like the NRA is talking about hardening schools. And I think, what an interesting verb, harden. You want to make the most beautiful, supple creatures on the planet, children. You want to harden? You want to harden that? I mean, what are you talking about? The beautiful thing about this piece is that you have a man that has become so rigid and structured and needy of getting the validation of his community, and he's so hard that he forgets the most beautiful thing on the planet, this beautiful, supple, blooming flower of a gorgeous daughter that he has. He forgets that that's the prize. There is no other prize. There's no property or money or, none of that stuff matters. It's this. So that moment when they meet, that's like I think the man finding his young inner child and remembering everything that's beautiful about being a human. So, yeah.
It's like he was reunited with himself.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
Hi, Shamika Sanders from HelloBeautiful.com. First things first, thank you for taking us on a magical journey with this film, Ava. And also, you talked about tapping into your childhood, and you tasked us with tapping into our childhood. I'm interested to know, for you, Oprah, Mindy, Gugu, What was a childhood fantasy that you acted out as an adult?
Childhood fantasy.
Who wants to start that question?
I mean, I think it's this life that we get to live as actors. You know, we get to play. And I think for me, certainly, you know, acting and performing, dancing, telling stories was something I did for fun. And I got to make my hobby my job. And now, you know, we get to play, and it's let's pretend. That was always my childhood fantasy. You know, what are we going to play today? And I feel like, you know, making movies, you get to show up on set and pretend and play and, you know, have all these playmates. Also, I was an only child, so I didn't have any playmates at home.
Lots of characters.
So I get my playmates and my siblings from this wonderful job we get to do.
So I loved science fiction and fantasy growing up, but it was a genre that largely did not love me back. I never saw any representation of like a dark-skinned Indian woman, Indian girl, anybody, in anything that I saw. And it's a really peculiar thing when you grow up loving something that shows you no love back. It's such a pure love because you're not getting anything from it. And to be part of this movie and to be, and then I broke out in TV, which is so welcoming to me, and comedy, which is so welcoming to me, but to be part of this and to be on a green screen stage in harnesses because you're doing a science fiction fantasy movie, it's so fun because I finally feel welcomed with open arms to something that has ignored me completely. And so that is so profound. And I think if that can be something that the miniature version of me we could watch and be excited by, I think that's such a huge thing. So that was exciting.
Yes.
Anybody else want to answer that question?
I think
You're good? Ava's great director. She's, nope, moving on. We got it. Next. This is the last question. Yes, go for it.
This is for Oprah.
Sorry, it wasn't me. I would let you guys talk forever.
So your character, Mrs. Witch, says the line, "Finally, some color." Was there something more symbolic about that?
Finally, some color.
When you get into the cave.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, that moment. Finally, some color. If you want it to be symbolic, I think it is.
That is the most perfect answer.
Finally, some color, yes.
Is there time for one more? Or?
One more. Who has the mic? Over there. The mic's right next to you. Grab
Hi
it.
there, Andrea from Italy. This question is for Oprah. Thank you very much for having me. You say in the movie that we need to restore hope, and that's a beautiful thought. But do you think is it possible to be hopeful in times like this one?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
How
I
come?
think the darkness is there to help bring out the light in all of us. And if you think about it, if we turned all the lights off in this room and you just one person just held the candle, you would start to dissipate the darkness. You would banish the darkness. And look at how much darkness it would take to actually envelop all the light that every candle would hold in this room. So it just takes a little bit of light. Just a little bit of light. That's what we're hoping for. A little bit of light. And if everybody can get that message, that's how we have hope in the world. We're looking for warriors who can bring hope back. Thank you.
I love that. As Ava said at the screening, much like a never-ending story, A Wrinkle in Time will capture the hearts of our inner child. Go on the ride with them and take some kids.